back to the Commerce Positivity lecture. In today's lecture, we will be discussing about the meaning and definitions of decisions making, natures of decisions making, and the importance of decisions making totally in detail. So let's start with the meaning or definitions of decisions making. Well, decisions making start from the word decisions. A decision is a choice made from among a number of alternatives. A decisions making can be regarded as a mental process resulting in the selections of a course of actions among several alternatives. Every decisions making process produces a final choice. It is the act of making a choice. It is the major functions of management. Whatever a manager does, he does through decisions making. Many problems may arise in an organization. While conducting the regular organizational activities, this problem creates disturbance in an organization. So the problem must be solved for smooth operations of organizational activity. It is only possible through decisions making. Hence, decisions making is an inseparable part of an organization. Helps to gain the defined organizational objective. Different scholars have given the definitions of decisions making. According to Stephen Robbins, decisions making is the selections of preferred course of actions from two or more alternatives. Similarly, according to Gus Cherry, decisions making is the selections based on some criteria from two or more possible alternatives. So simply we can say that decisions making can be defined as a process of solving problem by selecting the best course of actions from among various alternatives for the attainment of organizational goal. It is a rational process depend upon creativity and innovations of the decisions maker. Now, let's study about the natures of decisions making. The first nature here we have is that goal-oriented process. Yes, of course, decisions making is concerned with the attainment of organizational goal. Many problems of an organization can be solved to achieve particular goal and target. Thus, decisions making is a mean to achieve a goal. Similarly, another nature here we have is the selective process. Yes, of course, decision making is a process of selecting the best course of actions from among many alternatives to solve a specific problem. The best alternative can be selected by considering many factors. These factors are the natures of organizations, goal of organizations, environment, time, and so on. Hence, decisions making is a selective process. Dynamic process is another important nature of decisions making. Business operate in environment. Decisions is also made in an environment. The environment is dynamic. It is influenced by social, political, religious, cultural, and many other factors. Decisions making is also a dynamic process. It has to consider the factor and the changing factors of the environment to adapt the changing environment. Similarly, never-ending process is another important nature of decisions making. Decisions making is a never-ending job of a manager. It can be considerably applied in an organization. It is started before the establishment of an organization and remain throughout its life. Similarly, human process is another important nature of decisions making. Decisions making is done by human beings. It requires experience, capabilities, skill, and abilities. It involves creativity, visions, foresight, and judgment of a decisions maker. Therefore, decisions making is a human process. Pervasive is another important nature of decisions making. Decisions making is a pervasive function of management. It is existent at all levels of management. All managerial functions such as planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling are carried out only with the help of a decisions making. Similarly, positive and negative is another important nature of decisions making. A selected decisions may be either positive or negative impact. The manager has to consider the future impact of all alternatives before choosing it. The alternative with positive impact should only be selected. Now, Let's study about the importance of decisions making, the intellectual process of selecting the best alternative from many alternatives is called decisions making. A successful implementation of decisions helps to achieve the organizational goal. Whenever a manager does, whatever a manager does, he does through decisions making. Without decisions making, no work can be performed in an organization. The first importance of decisions making here we have is that indispensable activity. Decisions making is an indispensable activity of management process. It is one of the fundamental functions of management. All the managerial functions such as planning, controlling, organizing, leadership, etc. involve some part of a decisions making. Thus, decisions making is a central and important part of the management. Another importance of decisions making here we have is that pervasive functions. Yes, of course, decisions making is operated at all level of management. It is a pervasive functions of organizations. All managerial functions such as planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, etc. and the functional tasks like production, sales, marketing, and finance involve decisions making. Successful operations of business is another importance of decisions making. A successful operations of business depends on wise decisions. It does not matter that the organization is small or big, the activities can be performed only through productive and rational decisions. Those business organizations and more successful which possess manager with high skill, competency and expert in decisions making. Similarly, selections of best alternative is another importance of decisions making. There are many alternatives to solve the problem. All of them cannot be equally important to solve the problem. The best alternative can be selected through rational decisions making. Therefore, decisions making helps to select the best alternative from available alternative. Similarly, another important here we have is that evaluations of managerial performance. A manager's ability is often judged from the decision he or she takes. A good decision is a benchmark to evaluate a manager's wisdom, creativity, judgment power, and managerial competency. Formulations of plan and policy is another importance of decisions making. Decisions making is a tool and technique for formulating good plan and policies. Organizational plan clarifies goal and policy which provide guidance to achieve this goal. Therefore, decisions making helps to formulate the effective plan and policies. Adaptations of environment is the last importance of decisions making. Decisions making helps to adapt the environmental change. The manager work in a dynamic environment. They make decisions with careful considerations of needs, situations and environmental change. Hence, decisions making facilitates environmental adaptations or environmental change. Now, let's study about the process or step of decisions making totally in detail. Decisions making is not a single activity. It involves a series of activities which are done in a sequence. A manager in an organization is entrusted with the responsibility to take decisions. For the attainment of organizational goal, he or she should follow the following steps like problem identifications, development of alternative, evaluations of alternative, selections of best alternative, implementations of alternative, and the evaluations of a result and flow up. The first step of a decisions making process here we have is that problem identification. Problem is the difference between standard and actual work performance. A problem in an institution or organization starts from the cause and symptom on a particular event. No correct actions can be taken or possible until the problem is accurately identified. For example, undesired situations of an employer is a symptom of his poor performance. Every decision-making process begins from recognizing and defining the real problem faced by the organizations. Hence, it is the first step of rational decisions making. Similarly, development of alternative is another important step of decisions making. The step involves developing alternative and finding the various possible course of actions The problem may be solved in many ways, but all alternative of solving problem may not be equally profitable. However, all possible alternatives to solve the problem should be enlisted in decisions making process. It needs critical thinking to visualize the possible alternative. The decision maker may use their educations, experience, and knowledge of situations to generate the alternative. It is an important step of decision making process. Once the problem is identified and the alternative are developed, the another step here we have is that evaluations of alternative. Yes, of course, after identifying all possible alternative, the next step in decisions making process is to evaluate the alternative course of actions to identify their strong and weak point. Each alternative must be properly evaluated in terms of feasibility, practicability, and affordability. The alternative are by following ideas such as rearrangement, modifications, substitutions, combinations, and eliminations of many identified alternatives. Similarly, another step here we have is the selections of best alternative. The final selections of best alternative is a quite difficult task for the decisions maker. A decisions maker has to select the best alternative to solve the problem efficiently and effectively. Thus, it is the real point of a decisions making. In some case, more alternative appears equally suitable for a problem. Important reason for choosing one alternative over the other are cost, time, effectiveness, availability of human resources, productivity, etc. The manager has to consider this all factors to arrive at the final conclusion. Similarly, another step here we have is that implementations of the alternative. All the decisions of the organizations are worthless if they are not implemented. Implementations means putting the selected alternative to the work. The manager has to take a necessary step to put the decisions into action. In this step, planning, reorganizing, and all other necessary activities have to be completed. For effective implementations of decisions, action plan are also developed. Evaluations of result and follow-up is the last step of a decisions making process. The result and effect of a decisions making should be monitored regularly. No matter how scientific the decisions is, it has no guarantee that it becomes successful. It may be defective and may cause loss to the organizations. Its result should be watched carefully to minimize the chance of loss or get the feedback. If the decision is not capable to give the desired result, the necessary change should be made in the decision itself or its implementation process. Thus, flow of actions is an also important step of a decisions making process. Yeah, that's it. I just hope you will understand the meaning of decisions making, natures of decisions making, importance of decisions making, and the process of decisions making. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Take care.